And welcome back to the last part of Mega Man 2, and what we're doing here is, we are in Dr. Wily's castle. We are in stage 4 of Dr. Wily's castle, to be more exact. And, yeah, might as well get this filled up now. And, in hindsight, this is actually a very cruel stage that, they make you go through before getting to Dr. Wily. And, the reason it's so cruel is that, besides the cheaply placed enemies, you also have to worry about a very lengthy stage. And, they also offset that with some very mean traps. And, let's see, I'm gonna try and show them off at some point. But the biggest problem with this stage is that you're gonna have floors that you can fall through. Yes, there are fake floors in this stage. And, naturally, they are gonna use this to screw with you as much as possible. And that's just something we do have to deal with as we go through this stage. Let's see, I think I'm gonna have to drop back down. Yeah, this is too narrow for me to make it. And, yeah, in hindsight, this is actually a really cruel stage because not only is it very cheap, it, also features a lot of nasty tricks. Okay, glad I made those. Yeah, the biggest problem is, since there is really no indication of where the fake floors are gonna be, you have to do something different, like use bubble lead. And now you know where the trap is, so just don't fall in the trap. And, I already got 4 energy tanks, so I think I'm good. And, this is gonna be the checkpoint where you, come back to if you end up dying. And, let's see, right now I am going to just try and make it through this lift section. Oh, you know what, it's here, I might as well use it. And I am just gonna try and go through this part as quickly as I can. And that involves making this big jump. And, yeah, really the thing that makes this stage so cruel is just a lot of instant death hazards, and also, first time you are playing this, you are gonna fall for a lot of the things that are a lot of the nasty tricks in this stage. And one such trick is being, or sicking some of those, rotating guys on me. So let's just go ahead and do this the easy way. But yeah, this is one stage I definitely got stuck on a lot when I was little. And fortunately, I did have plenty of family members who were able to beat this stage. So at least they were able to at least talk me through it in order to beat it. And see, one such thing I had to do is get out item 2. And just make sure I drop down here. And you can actually make this jump without item 2, I just never knew how. But in that case, I'm just gonna get air up. Because there are gonna be a lot of these Joes on the ATSD rejects. And say, let's just wait for this guy. And here is one of the cheaply placed enemies I was talking about. Also, if you're not careful, you can end up going backwards enough to the point where the Joe respawns on the walker. So that's just something they can really sucker you with. Alright, let's just take you out. And I'm gonna try not to move back here. And end up succeeding. Alright, well now that that's done with. And, one of the main things that makes this stage so cruel is the boss. Yes, this is a bunch of turrets, and, yeah, they're flickering and the slowdown, that's just part of the game. And, let's see, its weakness is the crash bomb, and that's actually the only weapon that actually works on these things. And, see, the big problem is you have to wait a while to, actually hit it, or to actually hit these guys. And also, the slowdown's not gonna help either. And, they do shoot at you at specific times. And that's just, something that you have to make sure you get the timing down. And, it is pretty precise with these walls. The way I used to do it was, I actually used to just use one life to die intentionally and just break the walls, because if you do end up dying, the, walls actually don't come back. Which is, something we always used, but later on I discovered there actually was a way to do this without dying. And, that was the way you do it. you do have to use item 1 a lot, and you are gonna get hit a lot, so just make sure you have those E-tanks and make sure you use them. They give you them for a reason. Anyway, that was a huge stage. Now for some shorter ones. Yes, in this game they take you directly to the boss rush, whereas in other games they make you play like a short little stage and then go to the boss rush. But with that, we're just gonna go ahead and fight the bosses again, and you can actually know which order or which tubes the bosses are gonna be in based on let's see, you're gonna jump based on your weapon alignment. And since it's HAWBQ, you know that Heat Man, Air Man, and Wood Man are all on the left, and then Bubble Man and Quick Man are in the middle. And I'm intentionally not using Bubble Lead because, even though that is Heat Man's weakness, I'm not using Bubble Lead because I have no other way of refilling it, and I am gonna need it for Dr. Wily. Oh, that was stupid of me. Okay, I guess I still got it. Yeah, I was kinda worried there for a second that I wouldn't have collected it and I just would have gone in the teleport system instead. But here we are at Airman, and let's see, I'll just do this the best way I know how. Alright. Now we got that. Let's just take care of him. Let's see, up next is Woodman. I'm gonna save heat for Dr. Wily. So I'm just gonna go ahead and beat him with Metal Blades instead. Alrighty, let's just wait for him. The good news about this game is that it really is a boss rush because at least these bosses go by fast. I mean, fortunately this isn't Mega Man X7 or anything. And that's one of the reasons why I only beat Mega Man X7 once and never touched it since, is because I didn't feel like spending 45 minutes on a freaking boss rush level where there are loading times and the bosses take forever to kill. So yeah, that's one reason why I'm absolutely refusing to play Mega Man X7 this summer. And anyway, here we are at Quick Man, and let's see, let's just repeat the same tactics here. And the good news is the walls actually aren't there, so that can either be helpful or harmful depending on how you navigate them. And see, his last three are gonna be FMC, so it's Crash Man, then Metal Man, then Flash Man. And let's see, this guy should be pretty quick. Oh my gosh, I actually got hit by him. Yeah, I guess I fired too early. And with Metal Man, you can use his own weapon. I mean, that's just how broken the Metal Blade is. It even kills its own Robot Master in one hit. Well, at least on normal. So the last guy is gonna be Flash Man. Alright, let's just see if we can't take care of him fast enough. But with all 8 Robot Masters down, here we are at one final teleport system. And we're gonna face out with Dr. Wily himself. And let's see, what he's gonna do is just shoot these shots in an arc. And his weakness is the atomic fire, so let's just dispose of him that way. And for this next form, he's gonna be harder to avoid. Or at least these balls of his are harder to avoid. So really what I'm gonna do is just try and take him out as quickly as I can. And almost got him. Alright, well that didn't go the best, but I did end up beating him, so guess that counts for something. But it's not over yet, because we got one final stage to go. And we're falling into nothingness. Also, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna fall into our pause and then fall all the way to the right. And you'll see why soon enough, because we gotta outrun these drops. I always thought they were blood or something. In fact, me and my brother always called it the blood whenever we were playing through this stage. And if you do get a good head start, you can actually outrun the whole thing. Otherwise, you just have to wait for it to pass and then run under it. Anyway, here we are against E.T. Dr. Wily. Yeah, so what Dr. Wily's gonna do is he's gonna move in a figure-8 pattern and then shoot at you. And the bubble lead is the only weapon that can hurt him, because if you try and hit him with anything else, he actually regains all his health. And you could be pretty screwed if you run out of bubble lead. But fortunately, bubble lead is in a pretty decent supply. It's not like you have to make every shot or anything. But, yeah, that's really all there is to this boss. I mean, I have played him so much, I at least do recognize a pattern enough that, or memorize a pattern enough that I can hit him twice with the proper timing. And, let's see, just a few more to go. And with that, that is the end of Dr. Wily and the end of Mega Man 2. Yeah, I always like standing in the middle because I like for the hologram to fall on Mega Man's head. Never knew why, that just always made me laugh. And of course we had to wait for the machine to power down. And now Dr. Wily bows to me for the second time. Don't worry, we still got plenty more to go. But with our mission finished, let's go home. And I really do enjoy this ending. I mean, not only the different seasons, but I also enjoy the music, and let's see, just that it kind of shows like Mega Man has certain feelings, which is kind of unusual for a robot. But then, you actually do see some of those things in other Mega Man games. But really not as much compared to, you know, some of the early ones. But, now for my final thoughts on the game. This is hands down my favorite Mega Man game, and, I mean, it's not just the nostalgia talking, it's because this game has not only great level design, great music, great overall action, and also it's just really fun to play. That's the most important thing, I feel. And that's really one of the reasons why I'm doing this whole Mega Man summer thing in the first place, is it's just a lot of fun. And for some reason Mega Man left his helmet on the countryside. Now with that we get the credits, and fortunately these are pretty short credits, and you get to learn who designed who, and also what order they were designed in. That's actually what the numbers were for. I thought they were just for, you know, to see. Well, I mean, I thought those numbers were there just to like rank them or something. Of course, this was before I played Mega Man 1, so I didn't really know about the other robots. In fact, it is kind of funny that, I mean, 2 was the first one I played, then 3. And it was actually a while before I actually played Mega Man 1 because, you know, since I was born in 1985 and the game came out in 1987, it, didn't have much nostalgic value to me, but I did end up playing it on an NES, and it was actually until much later, so I had a pretty tough time adjusting to it. And as I mentioned in my Mega Man 1 Let's Play, it's obviously a lot different than the other ones, and this is where I start to get a lot more familiar with the games. Of course, this credit music is also badass. So either way, let's see, Mega Man 3 is going to be coming up next, and after that I'll be getting to Mega Man X, which is just surprisingly going to be my first Super Nintendo one. And that's a pretty fitting game to start off Super Nintendo with. And see, since we have arrived at Fishman, we also get to presented by Capcom. So thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you soon in Mega Man 3.